September 1st meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome, and thank those that are tuning in. One reminder, please continue to recycle if you're already recycling, and if not, we encourage it. We do have single sort recycling at the transfer station. Any announcements? The board appointments. Patty, the mic is yours.
We've received a mandate from the state to charge a $15 surcharge on septic systems. I don't think we have a choice in that. But while I was looking at that and thinking about increasing that fee, I decided to propose some other increase in different fees, which is just the first step in hopefully a direction in reviewing all the fees. But I don't know how we need to process this state mandate first, I think.
When does that take effect?
It took effect, it says, "We recommend you begin collecting the surcharge as soon as possible. It's not necessary to seek payment from individuals who have already been permitted in July." So it took effect in August. But we just got the newsletter 2 weeks ago that told, it came in a newsletter. It wasn't a directive directly to us.
So how many permits
Oh,
have
wait,
you
it-
issued since then that we're going to be behind?
I think we go forward.
This surcharge will apply to all non-engineered full systems, whether a first-time replacement or expansion, but not to components such as tank-only replacements. And it says it doesn't increase the $100 permit. How can you say it doesn't? A permit's still $100, but now there's a surcharge with it?
That we have to account for separately, write a separate check for. It's going to increase the workload, I think, the processing of the...
Well, it's interesting, they put this newsletter out, and it's not even dated. And they say...
Or signed.
We say you recommend, so is this, if this was non-emergency and it was a law passed in the last session, it would become effective on what, September 12th?
September
Or something like that?
the 15th. Yeah, somewhere in that time frame.
Should we look into checking with the town
Yeah.
attorney to see?
Well, when's the...
Especially where they haven't sent the LPIs a direct letter. We get it, we see this in a newsletter.
They do, they do encourage the town, the municipalities to submit the 25% state share of the permit fee and the $15 subsurface system surcharge on a monthly basis.
And make it as complex and as paper, make it as complex as you can, you know?
All right, so let's I guess let's get a date, a hard
Okay.
date of when it's got to be done. And then I think if that is imminent, right, then we'll have to deal with that. If not, then I think we can look at some of the other recommendations that you have here that...
Tammy Jo asked me for a schedule of fees of all the fees in my office, so I'm going to put something together so you can compare those with these proposed changes.
I'd also be interested in seeing what our rates are compared to other similar municipalities.
mean, are we way out of whack or?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you can just go locally with Hollis, Buxton, Sanford.
How long's it been since we've increased fees, Patty? Do you know?
Well, yep, some of the fees back when we did the,
Planning board.
not the subdivision, the site plan fees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple of other ones that we added to that, right? And I can't recall.
Zoning
It's a
board,
year
we
and a
up-
half or something.
yeah. I think the last time my office increased any fees or adjusted was when we did the $25 reinspection fee in '03, I think.
Oh, three. Okay.
Yeah, but I would agree with you, like plumbing, plumbing permits, per fixture. It's been $6 per fixture since when? I mean, forever, right? I mean,
And any increase above $6 is 100% the town's. Because of that $6, the state gets 25%. But if we go over, we keep all of what we've charged over the $6.
I guess if you could take, you and have Tina put together or whatever, the two of you are like a, kind of a table of, hey, this is where we are, this is what we see as the average in the area, and I mean, you can put this individual towns down. I mean, I'm not sure that we gotta copy some other town, but it would be nice to know whether or not we're in the realm of the
And what-
same thing, but
Do we need a hearing on this too, or is this, or can we,
I think before we did run a hearing, a public hearing.
so then, if we, the process on this would be to get the information on 3 or 4 towns, and what it is now, recommendation for increasing or decreasing in some, but probably increasing, and then a public hearing on those recommendations, providing we support the recommendations. If we support the recommendations, first of all, then go to a hearing on it, and then finalize our decision.
Yeah, other than the state surcharge, and I'm not sure we have a choice there, right? Other than it would be nice if they put an actual date. I mean, it suggests that we
And
start
recommend, the
charging.
words recommend and, yeah.
Maybe they're just looking for voluntary compliance.
Well, they're talking about adding 3 positions, right? And, I'm sorry, they're going to add the positions to protect water quality and reduce impacts on shellfish.
Yeah, we have a big problem with that in this town.
Yeah.
Now, we don't need to go there. All right, so do you think you can bring something back next week?
Yep.
And at least we'll get the ball rolling and we'll go from there. Anything else, Patty?
No.
Thanks. Hearing a delegation. Bridget?
Hi, Bridget McCallum, trustee, library. The roof appears to be finished, and when we first awarded the bid, I had 2 items that I wanted to make sure got covered, which was the job be done soon, which is great, and that there would be someone to assess the quality of the work. And I think we didn't set up an arrangement with Robert.
He was contacted.
He was
and he said
contacted.
He was going to come over.
Okay, well, I guess my question is, can we get some assurance that the roof is finished and it is done correctly? However that could be done. Because I don't know. I'm hoping that it's done and done correctly, but because we don't have someone who's sort of the clerk of the works for the town, how do we get it inspected?
Well, we made contact with, what was his last name, Furman?
Yeah,
Yeah,
forward.
he was going to charge a fair amount, he didn't hear back.
No, he wasn't going to charge a fair amount. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, there's lots of accounts, and that's why I'm unclear, and I just want to make sure the roof gets inspected. It's a town building, and it's been a long time, the job's been a long time in coming, and that it was done well, and I don't know.
So we can follow up with him to see if he's, when we could expect to see him.
And could our report be sent to the library?
Sure.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right, anyone else? Doug?
I guess this is a time. The blacksmith shop we've been working on, we've got the roof completely off, and we've got it partly stabilized. It's quite well rotted on the underside. But when we move forward and decide to haul it down the road, we're going to need police escort, which costs a substantial amount of money, so I would request that we be allowed to use the services of the town's sheriff to offset some of the cost, schedule with him on the days on duty so that we could just have him and we wouldn't have to hire either the sheriff's department or the state police to escort it, because it's 16 feet, and I believe at 16 we're going to need a police escort.
Can fire take part of that? I'm just wondering if you can have police in front and fire behind or something like that?
I don't know, I've always seen either state police or sheriff, so that would, and we've got the building down here, we got quite a lot more stuff to go in it, but we've got a fairly full house down there, so.
There's no reason we can't ask that question. I would guess that the sheriff would honor that.
I mean, he's employed by the town, isn't he?
You know, unfortunately, we don't give him his day-to-day duties.
No, we can ask him to. How long is is that a 4-hour trip or something like that? Or what do you think, getting it from one place to
No,
another?
once we get started, we shouldn't be more than an hour, unless it falls off or something that we're not anticipating.
So, yeah, pieces fall off or whatever. But
Well, if you look at it, we're not even sure it'll hold together to jack it up, you know.
But you get it on a flatbed or whatever, and then you're ready to go. And if our deputy takes an hour and a half out of his day, it shouldn't be should be able to plan that in, and maybe even have someone from the fire department and with a vehicle behind.
But I wanted
Costs us nothing.
ask the board before I mentioned it to either Nancy or him to see, working it into his schedule, because if you call the state police, they get a really substantial amount of money per hour to do that, and even though it's only going to take an hour, it'd probably cost us quite a lot. We may need more than one anyway, it depends on what permit division of DOT tells us. I just wanted the permission of the board before we move forward.
Does the DOT controlling that kind of bring the state police into the equation anyway?
Well, yesterday afternoon, Paul Poirier was moving a house up 35, and there was the sheriff in front and the sheriff behind, so I assume you have to use law enforcement, so
Yeah.
where it's within the bounds of the town, maybe if we had our own police department, they could do it, but I've seen the sheriff's department as recently as yesterday do it, so I'm sure they can do it. We just, when we go for the permit, I think you just gotta tell them who you're gonna use.
Well, I don't see that that's an issue with making a request. I mean,
I think the only caveat would be, as long as he's not on an emergency
right.
call, the schedule having to be maybe somewhat flexible.
Okay? I don't know if you-
Okay? All right, thanks, Doug. Anybody else? All right, moving along. Reports, town administrators report.
Tax bills will be mailed this week, and the due dates will be October 6th and April 6th of 2010. An update on the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. In mid-July, the state completed, the DECD completed what they needed to do to start the program. Funding was finally made available by the end of July, which is the funding that was originally supposed to be available February 1st. But roadblocks put up by the federal government kind of delayed.
Can't believe you used that word, roadblock.
But, you know, this in February was a great idea, and it was absolutely needed. Now, by the time they get around to possibly the money coming through from the federal government to the state and all through, by the time it would actually get to be done, now, from what I hear from builders, it's starting to pick up a little bit. And so, you know, by the time they get to do this project, the housing industry is starting to come back. And I'm wondering the usefulness of it this fall.
But you're still going to see a lot of short sales and a lot of foreclosures, and they're going to be working with foreclosed properties,
Yeah.
right? Still
Offers-
a lot of foreclosed properties.
Offers have been made on 3 properties. One was bid to somebody else because they came in at a higher bid. That process is a long process, longer than what they had anticipated. It's being slowed down now by an additional 2 weeks because they have to wait for an appraisal.
Right.
Everything seems to be this 2 weeks being added on, and once they're under the purchase and sales agreement, it's taken a minimum of 30 days to close. So, but once the acquisition of the properties have taken place, the next step is to go through the public bid process, and that adds on additional weeks.
So the acquisition of the property has to take place first, and then, and that's not to ultimately the resident, that's through this procedure, or the resident, or the person buying the property?
No, this,
Right, it's the program that
Program.
purchases it. Okay.
and Chris said he's hoping that maybe by Labor Day, there'll be 3 houses ready to start renovating.
Did anything happen in Sanford?
They're in the same thing.
That's all money's coming from the same place.
Yeah. The budget timeline for the upcoming budget process. I put together a timeline with the election on June 8th. Now there are several ways to handle your deadlines. One is your election is going to be on that Tuesday before, which is the 8th, and your business portion will be on the 12th. If you use the same warrant like we do now, you postpone until the 12th, so your deadlines start backing up from the 8th. Or you can do a separate warrant or just a notice of election for the election on the 12th and do your regular warrant for the 8th and do your regular warrant on the 12th. The timeline that I put together was the 12th, but if it ends up being the 8th, everything's going to back up 4 days.
4 days, yeah.
Confused?
I would think we'd do it to the 12th, which would mean that the election takes place on the 8th, and we suspend or recess until the 12th, right?
Well, if you, yes.
Or is it separate?
It'd be a separate.
Okay.
It has to be separate.
So we wouldn't have to do that funky thing where we'd actually open the town meeting
With 25 people or whatever.
with
I was just gonna
25
ask
people
that.
on the 8th, and then go through the exercise of,
If it's on the same warrant, yes.
Okay.
But if we do it just as a notice of election, then it's just an election, you don't have to have the 25 people and reading of the
Correct.
warrant and all, that would wait till Saturday.
Right.
And you wouldn't need a moderator because it could,
Would
it
be
would. Yep.
right. 12th sounds like the date to me.
Well, that was the date that I went by, so it's, there's timelines for you. And it looks like the first deadline is the CIPs to the Finance Committee, which is December 12th.
Okay.
You have one of those for
Oh,
me?
one for everybody.
Well, it's good to know that we've just got into the new year, and we're already starting to look at budgeting the next year, so. Anything else, Nancy?
No, that's it.
Oh, you're passing out these documents. All right, Selectmen's report, anything from, well, then go ahead.
Just want to let everybody know that Sean Sanborn is back to work, still with the remnants of a herniated disc, but he is back to work. Again, I want to mention that the library committee needs volunteers. They're going to be working on some fundraising activities in the upcoming months to try to get this new library on Route 5 going. If anybody hasn't seen the plans for it, there's some in the lobby of the town hall. There's also a mock-up of it in there on the table, which you're certainly welcome to look at. And I'm still researching the article for the ordinance on parks. I've been doing some talking with different people and getting some ideas, and I'll be able to present something probably in 2 weeks on that.
Okay.
I was at a library meeting last night, and they're getting ready to really kick this into high gear. I mean, people have been working on it, but it's gonna kick up about 3 notches.
Did they have, I know that kind of, when Jack was here last week talking about that, one of the things that he said was they needed to get a solid core group of folks that were going to be willing to work with Patsy Wiggins. Were they able to find enough volunteers to move that forward?
Well, I think there's looking for 7 to 10 people. I think there's a good solid 5 now, but looking for 2 or 3 more people that would really commit to this. And we're looking for people who are willing to go out and fundraise, that are not really shy about that aspect of the planning. I think we're pretty heartened last night that there's some commitments and some pretty interesting people involved. So I think it looks like it's going to take off, and I think it's like I said, it's going to the next notch. It'll be going pretty fast and furious over the next 5-6 months.
Okay, anything else, John? The only other thing is you might want to mark on your calendars the 21st, which is 3 weeks from last. The 21st is a Monday, right?
Monday.
Yep.
Monday. In this room, there will be both sides of Tabor 2 and the excise tax referendum that are being presented, actually kind of sponsored by the 12-town group. So if you're interested in listening to the pros and cons, and we need to just, we'll add that to next week's agenda, is to approve televising it, so we'd have to bring David to that, but that's something that we'll go through in a formal meeting. But anyway, mark it on your calendar. That'll be I think MMA is coming down on the Tabor 2 and excise tax, and I'm not sure who, I guess, is representing the pros of those 2 efforts.
I think the Maine Heritage.
Yeah, probably driven out of the Maine Heritage. So,
Was that at 6 or 6:30?
I think it's starting at 6:30, all right, but we can confirm that. I'm pretty sure that was the normal time of 6:30.
Starts at 6:45.
6:45?
6:45.
So I'll be here 6:30 to get a seat. I think the last time we went through this, they said there's something like they had 80 people in here or something. So, all right. Any committee reports? New business, execution of the lease with Mariner Tower. I think we've had this for a couple of weeks now. And it's been through Ken. Everybody's seen those comments and additions and whatnot. So, what is your pleasure?
I have just one question.
Yeah?
Is this lease, because this is a parcel that we've discussed on giving to the land trust, is this lease transferable?
I thought that was something that
That's in
Ken
there. Ken added it.
added, right? And I'm just trying to quickly look through this thing. but-
I see we have an eager audience participant that wants to comment.
Oh, if you'd like to add something.
I'm Louis Vitale from Mariner Tower. Yes, the lease can be assigned, if you sell the parcel, or if you transfer the parcel, the lease goes with it. And Ken and I had several conversations about this. It's very important, and Ken has, I guess, stressed this with the board before, but it bears repeating, that if you transfer the parcel as is proposed to the land trust, it's very important that the town retain rights, including the leasehold rights and any other rights that you want beyond the tower lease. So when you go and execute that transfer, it's very important to have that language in there, so the lease rights stay with the town. Otherwise, without that, the lease would automatically go to the land trust or anyone else who transferred the land to.
So do I understand then, we execute the lease, it's between the town and you.
Correct.
And then when we make the transfer to the land trust, the lease goes with it, with any changes that we make with the land trust, or it stays with the town and...
It will only stay with the town, the lease will stay with the town, provided you make that provision in your transfer.
It just has to be spelled out.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Because, as you read through this, access, the lesser hereby grants to the leasee, to the leasing's licensees, tenants, and the signs and whatnot, and it goes both ways there. So if we assign a lease, then it would go both ways as well, so.
Yep.
Number 7, if you look on page 3, is assignment. Leases shall have the right at any time, and that's the lease E, right?
That's correct. See, a typical
That would-
situation where, let's just say it's a private landowner.
Yep.
We have a leased land on a private landowner goes and sells that property. The lease goes with that property, follows that property, and goes to the new owner. That's what would happen here, unless you have a provision in your transfer with the land trust or whomever you end up transferring it to maintain your leasehold rights.
Yep.
So that's something that I would suggest you confer with Ken or your counsel on before transferring those deeds over,
Yep.
if you want to retain rights.
Okay, I will move that we enter into a lease with Mariner Tower.
Second.
Any questions, discussions?
I'd like to see that area up there posted conspicuously. You're going to fence it in, it says in the lease, that it should be posted as, restricted area, and there should be some type of authority conveyed back to the town for enforcing that, so that we don't get into, legal issues if there are trespasses on that property and so forth, or, damage done, up there by vandals or something, that
Well, I mean, the compound will be fenced
Right.
and posted. If there's anything beyond that the town would like, I'd suggest, we incorporate that during the planning process, because... we have to
Well, I
have-
think you've just answered the
Right.
question. You are going to post it, and
Oh, absolutely,
so, okay.
yeah.
Anything else? No other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Music.
We'll take a brief recess for entertainment.
It's not really manly music, is it? I would expect more from Doug.
Ultimately, we'll sign off. It'll be here tomorrow if somebody wants to. All right. Discuss vote, yeah, thank you. Discuss vote to increase fees per the request of the CEO. I think that's a moot point. We're bringing her back next week. Establish workshop of Homeland Security funds with Chief Wars and Pam. We talked about, can you do it Thursday? Can you do it Thursday night? Thursday night, what time would you like to start?
How early can you do it?
Well, not 5, but,
Shall I bring pizza?
we could do that, right? Have a little pizza party, right?
I cannot make it on Tuesday.
Oh, you can't make it on Thursday.
I'm going to try
you're
to,
okay?
I'm 90, I'm not sure.
And how
I
long,
gotta-
you're gone all next week?
Just Tuesday and Wednesday.
So we could do it a week from Thursday night, right?
Next Thursday, we have the workshop with the land trust on the 10th.
On the 10th?
So Monday and
We
Tuesday, or
scheduled
Tuesday
the
and
Rose
Wednesday?
meeting on the 10th.
What's going on tomorrow night?
I can't make it tomorrow night, but
Thursday night, I'm 99% sure I can make it. I think I get the kids, but I
Was
think
it-
my husband's going to be there.
The 3rd, we have one.
are you okay, John, if we do it?
No,
You're not here?
that's fine.
Okay, so Thursday night, we do it?
6 o'clock?
Shall we set goals?
6
for the
o'clock
10th?
sounds good to me. Okay with you folks? 6 o'clock Thursday night?
Thursday? Yep.
The
John?
10th?
John
This
won't
week.
be here.
The
Yeah,
third.
we'll bring pizza. Right? Somebody can bring pizza.
At
We'll
6
throw
o'clock?
money on the table. Okay,
Did you say 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
And this is,
Establish a workshop with the EMA director.
Well, we might be able to it might be quick enough that we can finish it from Thursday night. Basically, there's just a new template for the EOP, the Emergency Operations Plan. It's just adding and tweaking a couple things, so I can give you all a copy of the plan on Thursday night and say, read it, and then if you got any problems,
So we'll just add that to the Thursday night
I
session?
think we can.
Okay,
I really think we can.
all right. Personnel policy amendments. Get your reading glasses out. I think we've had everything that you've given us anyway, Nancy, correct?
Yes.
And I don't have a problem in principle with what you would publish, but, the folks
I have a
any good?
hard copy here with some of the...
I went over it the other night when you sent it out, so. Any comments from anyone?
Nope.
I had comments, but back when Nancy originally sent this to us about a month or 2 ago, she replied to all of my,
So, what
I
is
think
your,
Gordon had one, and I think that one was added also.
what's your pleasure on the proposed changes?
I'll make a motion that we accept the proposed changes.
You want a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Committee appointment. We have one,
I would make a motion to appoint David Lowe to the Saco River Community TV.
Second?
Does that mean no more guilty stares, David?
any discussion on the motion to appoint David to the Saco River Community TV Committee. All those in favor? Opposed? All right. All right, old business. Discuss vote on town-acquired property policy. We have an ordinance, I think as everybody is aware of, and I'm not sure, but this is the first time in some time that I've actually seen a pictorial, if you will, of everything that we do own, right? Needless to say, there is a bunch of stuff that is still in Lake Arrowhead. And some of the, how do I want to say this, requests or activity relative to how does a town dispose of this property centers around abutters looking for potential to buy an adjacent property. Now, I think if you guys recall, we ran an auction last year, was probably minimally successful. If anything, I think we might have got 1 or 2 lots back on the tax rolls. We had a lot of people bidding, and a lot of checks were cut for 10%. Is it 10% that we think? It was at that time, right? 10%?
10 and 5.
10 and 5. Some of them gave that money up, and the deeds never got transferred. Some of them never gave us that money. So I think that the person that was the most active in the bidding process went to his truck to get his checkbook and never came back. So needless to say, there wasn't a lot moved. But I'm not sure what your, and this would show any, the lots that we're moving to the land trust, right? Is in this package? It still show as ownership of the town. So,
Tax acquired, that's everything that the town owns. He can't break it out.
so do you want some time to digest this, or, I mean...
There's a lot of properties here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that, in the past, we used to sell properties, and we had a little procedure that, by town meeting vote, that allowed us, specifically driven on the Lake Arrowhead lots, that people could submit a written bid, and we would open them first Tuesday or first Monday or whatever it was of every month.
Back when I first started, we did this.
Right.
And we sent letters to, I did all the research, and we sent letters to all the abutters offering the lot between them, requesting a bid, and the high bid, we did a quick claim.
That all stopped when we had one bid come in for 430 some odd lots, or whatever the number was. And we sold them for 900 and some odd $1,000. And I was fortunate enough to travel with Roger Elliott, who was our attorney at the time, to Lowell, Mass, and pick that money up. And deposited it in the drive-up window. Drive-up window at the Sept and Key Bank. That was somewhat comical.
Wow.
Itself, but anyway,
So the shaded properties.
a lot of those same properties that we sold then are back. So this has got everything, Pam?
And the shaded ones are the ones that are,
The ones that are covered in.
Needless to say, there's no shaded ones on Ospey Pond, or Ospey Lake.
well, there's not that many in Arrowhead, considering, though.
So we're talking about doing this on one
Well,
day?
I think what we need to do is we change the ordinance that allows the board some flexibility on how we deal with town-acquired property. There have been some inquiries specifically to Lake Arrowhead of how do I buy the adjacent property to me because the town owns it. We currently, even though we have the authority to sell that property in our ordinance, there's really no standard of, or no policy that we have established to say, oh, and by the way, this is how we're going to do it, okay? Traditionally, we run an annual auction,
Yeah.
right? There weren't but 3 or 4 lots this year, right? And some of those were ones from last year, so we made the decision not to go do that again. However, that being said, some of these properties were acquired not necessarily through a lien foreclosure. There was a lot of other issues that kind of took place over time, so we own property like in Lake Arrowhead, fairly significant amount of lots that really aren't necessarily tied to a lien foreclosure. Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Now, these would all be for non-buildable lots? Because I'm looking at Hunter that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, basically 14 lots that are...
Right. So my guess is that whole area is probably not buildable.
Okay.
In
Not
the
part of
past,
it.
they were,
Swap pool lots. and
yeah,
there
they were
there
a
was
little bit everything.
This was a pretty convoluted process over the
Yeah,
years, but
okay.
So again, question mark, can we just put up the lots, that if there's some lots that people have shown interest in, and some lots that we are specifically interested in auctioning off, or do we put them all up?
well, I'm not sure, well, I think yes to all of that, if that's what we want to do. I think we need to establish, if someone approaches us, we don't have a position today. Someone comes in and says, hey, on map 44, I own lot A518 and A517 is owned by the town. Can I buy that? Okay? And how do I go about buying that? We would say, well, we really don't have a policy today.
I have a request sitting on my desk right now, waiting for an answer.
Okay?
I think
And that's an Arrowhead property, right?
before when we did it, we sent a notice out to everybody, the highest bidder, and the lot was just added to their lot as the
Right.
non-buildable
And it had the clause, non-buildable.
And then if nobody responded, if there's a butter on either side and neither one responded, then later on one had...
That's why it was so long.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it was for years.
No, we didn't, we
It
sold
just hung,
to them.
it just was there. I mean, it
Yep.
was,
When we say non-buildable, we're saying non-buildable as a house lot.
Right.
right,
They could
you
put-
cannot
they
put
could
a
put-
dwelling.
But they could put a garage.
It was qualified as that a dwelling could be established on
And it
it.
could never be split.
Right.
in the future.
Once it's
Had to
done, it's
remain
done.
one lot.
Right.
Wouldn't it be cheaper just to publish these or not?
Well, I think we gotta go through them first because all of the town lands are in here, including,
Right.
the transfer station,
Right.
cemetery.
So,
The
I
town
mean,
I don't
my,
think we wanna
No,
sell
no,
some
but
of
I'm just
that.
saying, instead of sending out a letter
I think
to
we
every
do.
butter, wouldn't
I'll
it?
end up with
I
a
think
bid
what
on
you're
the
gonna
town
look at are the
hall.
ones in Arrowhead.
Right,
right.
that's what I'm...
But I think that, like this cluster that you see in Arrowhead, okay? Maybe that makes sense that the town, if we had a active conservation committee, that land may very well be turned into conservation, and we so identify it as that, even though there's supposedly a road through it, but my guess is there's not one of those that are buildable or that'd be gone.
There's
Right.
also another cluster of lots on map 46 too. Off from Fairview.
And I think there's some also need to do is one or two lots that are on the S turn on New Dam Road that we
Right.
didn't want to
We
include.
didn't want to include, because at one time, we were
Who's
going to
gonna
straighten
straighten out
that
that road?
S-turn out, and we were going to swap some lots for. So, might I just suggest that we take this, digest it, and then see how we want to proceed?
No,
But right now, we can, excuse me,
no, that's fine. Go.
defer. Right now, we can set out any time to have an auction on this. If we decide
Or-
we want to have an auction in end of October, and we want to put up 5 properties, and we notify abutters and publish it in the newspaper, et cetera, et cetera, we can do that in the end of October if we want.
Or we don't have to have an auction, we can go to a commercial realtor
Yep.
if we wanted to. I mean, that's what the ordinance gives us, that flexibility.
Yep.
So I think we ought to take a look at it, say, this is how we're going to proceed.
Now, I just want to clear one thing up.
Yeah.
All of that land in Arrowhead,
Yeah.
we're not going to sell any of it as buildable lots, even though somebody comes in and proves it's a buildable lot.
Those that, well, I guess that's a decision that we have to make. If we knew that something was a buildable lot and you wanted to take it to the market for market value, I guess you could do that.
Because I'm looking like there's a couple right on Arrowhead Lake, surrounded by a lot of properties that I'm guessing have houses on them, and you have 2 lakefront lots. How do I know?
Well, you're not going to look at it from that aspect.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, do we go through every lot and check?
Well, we did not do that before.
Well-
I mean, we knew that we had, some lots were buildable, some lots weren't. I mean, there were properties purchased through that bid program that we had that there are houses on today.
I understand that. I'm just saying, so we're not actually advertising these as non-buildable lots because some of them may be buildable lots. We really have to check into whether or not, how we're going to do the
Wouldn't it-
Yeah, you
process.
might get more money if a lot is
But then
buildable.
you have, the
That's
town,
my point.
then we would have to prove whether or not it's buildable or not.
Years ago, the Conservation Commission, Steve Everett actually,
Right.
went through a lot of these lots, and somewhere, I can dig it out, there is a list of all his recommendations and his findings.
Oh, okay.
And I think a lot of those lots,
Yeah,
most
I
of
think-
those lots are probably included on that list.
Oh, that would be
Let's-
good to have
Let's do
then.
some more digging,
Yeah,
and then
'cause-
we'll, and I think, we may very well have to take an evening and go through this and determine how is it that we want to approach.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the best interest of the town, we got to make sure that we recoup as much capital as we can.
Yep.
Well, yeah, especially,
And just realize that the tax title, you're only selling the town's interest.
Right. Doesn't mean that you can't get more money for it. It just means that all we can transfer is
Town's
what the
interest.
town's interest is.
so do you think you could email me over if you can find his notes? And I'll kind of try to go through it?
Because I know there were some waterfront lots on there, but they were like rocky and just
Yeah,
straight down.
I wouldn't mind
They
taking a
weren't-
drive-by just to look at the lots if
I
I,
can't dig that out in the moment.
And I think also in that list, there's a list someplace that shows which one's a tax title. And I think it might be with that one.
Yeah, it's old, but
Okay. So let's bring this, I guess, let's keep it in front. I don't know if we need to bring it back next week, Pam, but maybe in a week, 2 weeks from tonight, we'll bring it back. Task force. I guess I'd offer to put something together that we could publicize to say this is what we're attempting to do with pulling everybody together, so,
that's for the charter.
yeah.
I was wondering, could we ask for a volunteer for from each of the sitting committees to be part of it?
Guess you could.
We won't
I would
know,
just, I just would like to put together, hey, this is what we're trying to do, or
Right.
at least trying to determine.
But I'm
And-
just-
And that might be an answer, is that we're looking for every committee in town to offer up
Something,
something.
because it involves a lot of the committees, Economic Development Committee, the Finance Committee, all the committees really would, I would think, would have some say in it. So if we could get a member from the committees.
Or if you put it out in half the committees, there's a person interested on half the committees, that's 4 or 5 people.
Right. And then try to get a few more, but,
All right, so let me, I'll take that on, just to put something together, and then we'll look at how we're gonna structure it,
Okay.
if we're gonna do it. Reschedule workshop at the Land Trust. So is that date?
It was the 10th, is that what you told Doug or something?
no, Doug offered, he said he couldn't do it on the 3rd, he offered the 9th or the 10th,
what day is
Okay,
those?
so,
Wednesday and Thursday.
Next week?
Oh, didn't we set the goals on 10th Thursday?
8th, the 8th,
That was
We
the
said-
that was the fire chief who we were going to meet with on the 8th.
and then we were
No,
gonna do
fire
the
chief
goals
meeting
after.
was on the 29th.
Yeah, but this was
This
another.
is another one,
EMA.
yeah.
So we've set that, right?
But didn't they need over an hour?
That's what we're going to do on
Right, so that's,
The 8th?
Thursday night,
right,
the 3rd.
The 3rd, okay. So
this
we're
Thursday night,
so we're doing the land trust on the 10th?
Meeting this Thursday night for
right?
grant stuff.
Next Friday, and next Tuesday night, we can do our goal thing, right? Because we'll have an hour to do it, from 5 to
6, next Tuesday night.
6.
Goals next Tuesday night, okay. And then Wednesday night is,
Moving the fire chief out of there on the 8th.
what's the
Right,
date next?
because we're bringing in the fire chief on, with
Thursday.
Pam, right? Because we were gonna do that early, but you guys said you,
Thursday night.
right.
Can you get these
Because
things,
Pam couldn't do it next week.
need to get these things down so I can
Okay.
transfer them to a calendar
And then the 29th too.
where,
5 to 6.
So the 8th is goals at 5 o'clock.
Yes,
Okay, this Thursday night is EMA.
right. And then next
The 3rd.
Thursday night, the 10th, works for the land trust.
Land Trust.
Okay.
What time's that?
They wanted to do that at, what, 6:30, I think we originally said,
6:30.
6:30 or 7.
And then the Finance Committee is on the 16th.
15th, I thought you said.
Is it Wednesday night, the night of their meeting, or is it,
Oh, Monday.
huh?
I mean, on Monday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the 14th.
So it's the
Finance committee
14th
was
is the
Monday, the
finance-
14th.
So we're meeting with the
Right.
Finance Committee on the 14th,
Okay.
that's
and
at
that's
6
at
o'clock.
6:30.
That's not the transfer
I
station
got 6
committee, is it?
o'clock.
No, that's the transfer station committee's
They
later.
need 6:30?
So the Finance Committee is 6:30 on the 14th. The 15th, 16th, okay, who else do we have?
15th is the auditor at
Fif-
5:15.
Audit at 5:15.
There is a calendar on
what's this?
the, that I keep just for the selectmen on the...
I'm writing stuff down on this one. Is that all right?
5:15 was the
5:15 is
auditors.
the auditor.
And then the
The
20,
29th is with the fire chief on
Fire chief.
long-term goals.
and what time's that?
That's before our meeting, so it's
5:15
So
for
that was
the
5
auditor?
o'clock.
What's
That's
that?
at 5 o'clock.
Long-term goals.
Anything else? I've got,
Goal station?
That's,
So it's part of it.
it's part of it.
so I've got the 3rd EMA at 6.
Yeah,
The 8th is our goals at 5.
yeah,
The 10th is the Land Trust at 6:30.
yeah,
The 14th is the Finance Committee at 6:30.
yeah,
The auditor is on the 15th at 5:15.
right.
And then the fire chief is 5 o'clock on the 29th. Is that what we said?
Yep.
So that's,
Yeah.
that's it?
Yeah, the planning board.
Is it okay if I wrote on that?
Yep.
Well, you know what?
Okay,
29th.
I got it.
You got
that
it.
all under the agenda item of reschedule workshop with the land trust. Okay? All right, vote to sign warrants and bills for payroll.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor? Opposed? Vote to sign minutes of 8:18.
So moved.
So moved.
All those in favor?
I wasn't here.
Okay. Vote to sign minutes of
I
8:25.
wasn't here.
There needs to be a
With-
correction.
Yeah, we-
Second.
There's one where it says, motion by Selectman Gale, seconded by Selectman Gale. It needs to be seconded by, Gordon already scratched it out on the copy that's in there.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
So second.
Second.
Okay. All of those that were in attendance,
Which would be me, John,
which is 3,
Gordon.
okay? Okay, all right, discussion of agenda items. We're going to bring Patty back. On fees, we'll call it. What else? Bring the task force thing back as old business. Anything else, folks? Okay, what do you got, Pam? We got a meeting with us, right?
Do we want to do the town-acquired property? Are we going to be ready to?
Well, I suggested bringing that back 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah,
It'll
okay.
give us, well, we can bring it back next week.
No, I don't-
Nancy, you're not here next week, right? Is it next week you're on vacation?
So, and it's the day after, a holiday, so it'll be pretty quick, quiet. If something comes up, we'll add it. We'll go from there.
Yep.
Okay? Items needing signature, warrants and bills of payroll, minutes of 8:18 and 8:25. We're going to go into an executive session here.
I'd like to just mention that our Representative Joe Wagner has been here and is here just about every meeting, which is very impressive for a busy person that's in the legislature. Joe's been very involved also with our Waterboro library, our new library. So I'm just very pleased at your involvement at this level.
And if you email him or call him, he gets right back to you and tries to give you some information. He's been very
Keep
good.
that money flowing from Augusta down to York County, that's all. We appreciate what you do, Joe. And as I've said many times, better you up there than me. I don't know how you do that. But. All right, let me read the reminders, and then we'll go into executive session here. Reminders, September 2nd, 7:30 a.m., WAB, Business Development Town Hall. Thursday, September 3rd, 7 p.m., Historical Society at the Belleville House. Friday, the 4th, York County Community Action Fuel Assistance Town Hall, 9 to 5, you need an appointment. September 7th, 6 p.m., Water District Trustees at the Town Hall, and then Tuesday night, 6 p.m., Selectmen's meeting here at the Town Hall Annex. Anything else that anybody wants to announce? If not, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive.
We go into executive session per MRSA 14056A personnel issue.
Second.
All those in favor?